Ladies and gentlemen, we've made it. It's Super Bowl week, and you are listening to For the Fan, episode number 122. As always, I am Will, and we got Colton, Dom, and Jake. Gentlemen, hello. How are you?
Swell.
Sup?
In pain.
Impaired.
Impaired and pain. It's all the same thing. Follow us on all the social media accounts down below for the Fan Network on YouTube, TikTok for the Fan Network, Twitter and/or X for the Fan _ and Instagram for the Fan Football. College all-star games came and went. The greatest Pro Bowl games of all time, highest scoring of all time, came and went. We went with that. And the last of the season's underway here. Super Bowl week. We are Wednesday. We're gonna have another show live on Friday. Time to be determined, depending on when it's gonna happen. But yeah, excitement. Super Bowl week. We're getting there. Early thoughts, late thoughts, in between thoughts.
Every thoughts for me is I just want to be Kyle Shanahan on Media Day is what I want to be. That was a whole level, man. Kyle Shanahan on Media Day. Good for him. I want to be that guy because he was having a hell of a time. I don't know if you guys saw what happened, but he was...
No, besides them crying about their practice field, I have not.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I sort of saw that. No, Kyle Shanahan was reasonably drunk through all of his press conference stuff. And it was
as you
pretty great.
should be.
It was pretty great. I was all about that. Head coach of the Super Bowl team here for Media Day.
So how does
Boom.
that compare to Alshon Jeffrey just saying all of this is unnecessary and saying like the whole media week of Super Bowl is pointless?
Marshawn Lynch, I'm here so I don't get fined.
Yeah,
basically.
that too.
That's a top moment, though, all time.
Top moment.
And then
No one's never been more annoyed.
the guy asking Alshon Jeffrey, what are you guys doing with the cold? Like, we're gonna play inside.
Yeah. We've already had a couple of those questions this year during the season. How are you feeling about the weather? We play inside. Okay, good talk. How about you guys? I haven't seen much else other than what we just talked about.
I got a reporter asked Mahomes to do his best Kermit impression, and Mahomes says, "I'm talking right now."
Boom. Fantastic.
That's all I'm saying. The only response to that question is, "This is my normal voice."
Media day is 0 for the players and all for like the media. I mean, granted it's media day, but like, they ask the most ridiculous questions and
It's all for the media who don't cover sports.
It's a way to get yourself clicks, to be honest. You don't want to ask any football questions. You want to ask some questions that are going to get clicks and views.
yeah.
Because no offense, you're going to have the very next day. They talk like almost every day this week. You're going to get your football questions then. That's the opportunity to ask something wacky, like the person that asked George Kittle. Not that it's wacky. It's, popular with people, and not myself, but the stuff with the WWE. George Kittle loved it and ended up making its rounds on social media, getting a bunch of clicks. So, we don't need to talk football on Media Day for the people that are there. That's ask your opportunity to get anything random out there, get some clicks, and it's kind of way to help build the brand, honestly, to be honest.
They also asked Andy Reid, does he eat anything else other than cheeseburgers?
Yes.
And, I'm going to click the intro here. You're listening to For the Fan.
You are listening to For the Fan.
And here we are. There we go. Yeah, that's just the normal part of the show there. It's as normal as it can ever get with that.
Great.
Last time I'm going to be talking about this until next season. The head coaching openings, the updates. We have the last position filled. Dan Quinn, he goes from Dallas. And now he goes to Washington. He's now the new head coach of the Washington Commanders. It's all done. All 7 positions are filled. And we're done. We're done with it. We're done talking about it. But I have one question, and I want to ask this, okay? Besides Jim Harbaugh, okay, who is the second best hire from this coaching cycle? because I believe we only have one offensive-minded guy that was hired, and Brian Callahan, who went from Cincinnati to Tennessee. Other than that, it's a whole bunch of defensive guys.
And Antonio Pierce has to be.
Yeah, I would maybe go with Antonio Pierce. Maybe isn't the correct answer, but that's definitely the answer I want to pick for sure.
The Raiders actually doing a good thing or the right thing.
Immediate impact or continued impact that really impact that has been before he even technically got hired. So I think he's got the biggest head start, obviously. He knows the players, he knows the people. It's actually a really good hire. The more you talk about it, the more you think about it, is that's out of all the head coach openings, everyone else is starting fresh. Jim Harbaugh is Jim Harbaugh and has a good team. And then there's Anthony Pierce, who's has an established presence, whose team likes him a lot, rooted for him to be there, got hired. Fans are all about it. Everything is going well there and has been going well. Will continue to do so. That's the only time that's the case in all this head coach thing. So
Aside from them hiring Luke Getsy because they panicked. But
yeah, that was something.
so do they also have the best and the worst then?
Yeah, it's definitely the Raiders. It's kind of the low-hanging fruit. It shouldn't be on this list, but it technically is. For me, the biggest winner out of all this is the Detroit Lions, keeping their whole staff, not losing any of their guys to head coaching positions. So for me, the biggest winner outside of the Chargers this whole offseason as far as coaching goes, it's the Detroit Lions, man. Keeping their staff together. It's incredible.
I want to say the winner, though, is the Tennessee Titans. Their offensive line was terrible this season, okay? But Brian Callahan hired his dad, who is one of the most established offensive line coaches in the entire league. He helped that Browns team who went through 10 different tackles, so many different guard rotations. Now he goes from Cleveland, he goes to Tennessee, and hopefully can establish consistency across the line, especially with their one draft pick, I believe, this past year, one of the offensive tackles that they took. So
I kind of like that. That's cool.
And also Callahan, I mean, hey, he proved it he went from Joe Burrow, who, broke his wrist on a play just nonchalantly, to whatever his face is, Jake Browning. And now maybe he could build something out of Will Levis or maybe Malik Willis, or they just draft another quarterback because, why not? Who knows what will happen there.
He's a little bit to work with, at least. At least it's not the Carolina job, obviously. Atlanta, Raheem Morris, we've talked about him. He just
I think he has the potential to be one of the better hires.
I think he does, as long as he figures out the offseason first, especially that quarterback. He's got to have stuff.
If they jump out and get Kirk Cousins, they're instantly the best team in that division. So if they can somehow make a big swing, get quarterback, whether that's in the draft, free agency, Raheem Morris was going to be my mention, but I want to go broadside of coaching. The fact that they didn't lose any of their guys to head coaching jobs, and that's the Lions. But yes, Raheem Morris was going to be mine if you're going to ask, because I don't count Antonio Pierce. It's just baloney that it does count as a new coaching hire. So when we recap this, like week 2 or 3 next season, how does it look from the coaching staff hires? I'm going to ignore the Raiders. Just going to point it out now. I'm going to ignore it because, he's not a new hire. He's been there.
I mean, that's valid. What do you guys think about Eric Bieniemy? Dan Quinn just said today, it's basically no hard feelings. He has a lot of respect for him, but, hope he...
You want to hear what happened? So in Baltimore, the night before the game, with the Chiefs and the Ravens, Eric Bieniemy was actually in the meeting room, and he was talking with Mahomes, and he was helping, do a whole bunch of stuff. He was like, oh, hey, they were trying to design, a trick play and all that stuff. And he put in his 2 cents and, just kind of, converting stuff and whatnot. I mean, I think he could go right back to Kansas City if, everything, just.
That's what I was saying. You guys expect him just to immediately just go as wouldn't even be an offensive coordinator. It'd be just a consultant or an assistant of some kind.
Play the most player-friendly coach decision that you could make right now.
Mahomes said he had goosebumps where it's wow, we're just back in the room as if we weren't just apart for nearly a year. So he's
hey, that was a good move on Kansas City. I mean, Bieniemy probably reached out, to be honest. He's like, hey, Need some
Well, I
help.
mean, they're just, like, well, he's in DC. They're, right up whatever highway, I-95.
Yeah, that's
Quick
fair.
trip to Baltimore.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. But I wonder, you think that's what he's doing, going back to Kansas City?
I mean, that would be the most logical spot. I mean, it's not like Matt Nagy's a bad offensive coordinator for what he took over. I mean, Andy Reid's the guy that's calling the plays, but
And I
He's
don't
a-
think Nagy would have an issue with it, if I'm going to be honest. Even if I mean, even if you made it OCs or something, or like assistant offensive coach, stuff like that, like the Patriots just did with Ben McAdoo. Like if you have enough, yeah, I don't want to talk about it. If you have
what's Ben McAdoo?
Yeah,
Ben
you
McAdoo,
can't just glance over that guy getting hired.
freaking hate this. The Patriots hired Ben McAdoo as assistant offensive coach. I hope he makes zero decisions.
Well, he's just a senior consultant. He's like nothing more than that.
Well, again, if you were to, I don't think Nagy would have any issues because they've worked together before. And Nagy seems to be very team friendly with Kansas City over and over now. I think he would have no issues where they could just mesh well together and be enemy. Like you said, goes back to Kansas City at whatever role it's going to be, but probably an impactful one enough where they're both working together and stuff. So,
Man.
And it's dust. Just like his
just
Hughes
like the
jersey.
enemy. Just like.
That's
And
why
then you have
bring him in. And they hired Dan Quinn. And it's like, okay, one of the best offensive play design, play callers in the league. Bye.
Didn't have a chance.
Didn't have a shot.
Yeah, it sucks.
Well, I mean, you want to hire your own guys. You don't want to just
But like Dan Quinn's a defensive guy.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't have kept him.
He brought in Cliff Kingsbury for the sole purpose that Caleb Williams is going to be a commander. If
And he will be.
if it all happens.
He 100% will be.
I am convinced, unless someone trades with the Bears and moves in there and swoops on in for Caleb Williams, I am absolutely convinced it is Washington. I said this a couple weeks ago. Washington, it just writing is on the wall, top to bottom right now, that it's got to be Caleb Williams to Washington. Has to be.
That's all that ownership is based around. It's just flashy marketing moves.
Yeah.
That's all they are. So that's what they don't care what it is. As long as they just get their thing they can market, they're fine.
Well, they're going to sell tickets. They're going to get it done.
Definitely. No matter what they do, I think they might sell tickets more than they have in the past long time. So,
I mean, they do sell tickets to the other team. A
Yes.
lot of them.
Lot of green usually in that stadium.
There's a lot of turquoise. Is that what the Dolphins jersey is? It's turquoise. We don't want to say aqua blue.
Sure.
Y'all not even helping me here. Okay, yeah, but hey, when they played Miami, it was just not red.
Yeah,
it was the Dolphins colors there.
People bringing in their own benches. Yeah, it's a good time.
The quick injury update. Besides the fact that Eric Armstead didn't practice with a knee injury and George Kittle's dealing with a turf toe type injury, they're going to be expected to play in the Super Bowl. And then you have Joe Tooney, the Chiefs offensive guard. Very big long shot to play due to a pectoral strain. And then Jerick McKinnon, who had his practice window open, not expected to play during the Super Bowl.
Wow, damn. Big hit.
Captain Falcon himself, Mr. Hey, you got to try on these shoes, make sure they fit good in the shoe store. Isaiah Pacheco will probably be the lead back again. Why not?
As he should.
As he should.
I was going to say, big hit for Kansas City. Kadarius Toney is available and will play. So there's that.
He is in Vegas.
Yeah. No,
he's in Vegas.
He's going to play. So they do have that going for them. Whether that'll be good or bad, I don't know.
Well, you don't have to give him a helmet.
So I mean, we talked about Nick Saban retiring on here, and he is going to be joining ESPN and will be an analyst on College Game Day. Will also appear on the NFL Draft and SEC Media Day coverages.
Solid. He'll be on the College Game Day panel?
Yes.
Nice. Good. Nice.
Seems like you have too many seats then. So
I know. I was going to say,
someone's out.
That's a huge panel.
What would there be, like 6 now?
7.
I don't watch College Game Day,
It
so
probably has to be that, as much as we love Coach Corso, he's definitely on his last 1 or 2 seasons.
Yeah, I think so, right? I think so.
I mean, Belichick should go on there too. Just screw it. Just get 2 legendary.
Just mumble the whole time. Just
Me?
No, he had a great when he was on for the.
Oh, he had so much personality for that Army Navy game. He had all the personality.
He showed more personality that 1 hour than he has for the last 25 years.
We're gonna run the ball. We're gonna run the ball good. I'm not gonna talk about Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi until game day. I'll pick a QB1 after warmups. Hey, he has so much personality for someone that doesn't show personality. Like, they had the Football Life, and it was him and Randy Moss in the office, and it's like, oh, hey, come do the Halloween party. He's just dressed up as a pirate. That's one of my favorite scenes of him all time. So obscure. I want to talk about this because we are going towards the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about the game, but we're not going to unveil like predictions and all that stuff. But let's kind of get into the mindset of the Super Bowl here. All right. We've had 47 of them, and on Sunday will be 48. Okay. What is your favorite memory from the Super Bowls?
57 and then 58?
58?
I have 57. 58's being played on Sunday.
Yeah. 48 was 10 years ago.
From Super Bowl 58 then, if it, I have to count it in there.
Okay.
You just totally didn't recognize what was just happening.
You said 47 to 48.
No, okay. Oh, well.
I was real confused. I was like, wow, 50's coming up. That's huge.
I didn't realize we're back in high school.
Yeah, all right, who wants to go first?
I mean, I'll take it. I mean, why not? Let's get that shit off here. Okay, here we go. One of my favorite memories, okay? It's one of my all-time favorite Madden moments. You go back to Madden 11, you can play it because you have to make the comeback in the game. 2009, we're in Miami. It's the Drew Brees and Peyton Manning Super Bowl. The Colts and the Saints. Yeah. Okay, let me think about that really quick. Okay, it all comes down to this. You're down 4 points. Yeah, you're down 4 points. You're Peyton Manning, and you throw the ball directly into Tracy Porter, and all you hear is Jim Nance. And there's Tracy Porter with the pick, and he's just 6, and he's just high-stepping into the end zone. 3 minutes to go. Locks up the Saints' first Super Bowl title in franchise history, and Drew Brees' only Super Bowl title. 3 years after Katrina, they bring it back, and just, hey, it's a big party there for the Mardi Gras lovers and the city of New Orleans.
I'll go and put Jake in between some of mine because it just makes sense. As a Patriots fan, I'm going to have a couple. All right. Not to be.
Wow. The Giants ones, those are my favorite too. The Eagles one, I like that too.
Not even in the whatever. You can go back to the Rams one, which, by the way, was not 2000, not the freaking 13-point game. The actual 2001 game. Was that technically 2001?
Yeah, 2001 to 2002.
Yeah,
technically 2001 season.
Yeah. You can go back to that game because that game actually looks so sick on video because the field looks so good in that broadcast. But there's what seemed like 14 defensive turnovers and defensive plays by the Patriots that were awesome. And there's so many pictures of that. Ty Law, just phenomenal defense. You could go back that far. It's great. Fantastic. There's memorable moments, iconic moments. But I have to, as a Patriots fan, I have to talk about the Falcons Super Bowl 28-3 because that was the most ridiculous moment ever. And I actually just saw, I might be able to include this when you put this on TikTok. I did just find that I recorded my reaction live to the last touchdown in overtime scored. So I'm unfortunately I don't have that available at the moment, but it's fantastic. That I just found yesterday for the first time. I was like, oh my gosh, it's a pretty great reaction. But that Super Bowl, man, was just so unreal. I remember saying, oh, I'm gonna have a shot for every touchdown scored or every score, and it wasn't that many. Like it was very spread apart, and then the third quarter came, and then it was like boom, 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 and by overtime I was, feeling good. But man, I mean, just that's the game for me in sports, other than the Capitals championship run. That's the game for me in sports where I go back and I watch that every now and again when I'm like, oh man, just thinking about sports. It's around Super Bowl time. I go on YouTube. I'm like, all right, let's see it from the 28-3 time. I don't care about what happened before that. I just watch it, all those highlights from the 28-3 time, and then that amazing Julian Edelman catch, which was 95% luck and 5% he's so good. It was just an incredible game, Super Bowl, everything. And then James White scoring that touchdown and LeGarrette Blount flying out and tackling him onto the ground in the end zone was just incredible. That was for me, that was easily the standout Super Bowl as a Patriots fan. So I know, and Jake brought it up too. The Malcolm Butler catch was great. And I agree. And that was so fantastic. I remember where I was at the moment, everything like that. But that wasn't the best Super Bowl as a Patriots fan. That was kind of lucky at the end. So just saying.
Come on, you had a guy named Chris Matthews who is the biggest one-game wonder of all time.
That's true.
Yes, he had like 130 receiving yards. He didn't even qualify in the top 10, but like, listen, he did nothing the next season. I think he had like 90 yards the entire next season. There was nothing there.
All right. I got to take mine from the most entertaining Super Bowl there has ever been.
Rams Patriots 2019.
Definitely. No, the one before the one before that made that one look so boring. The moment the curse was ended, the strip sack of Brandon Graham on Tom Brady, where I actually jumped so high multiple times that my knees were hitting my chest and actual tears started because, oh my God, we're going to do this. That was the realization. The Eagles are actually going to win the Super Bowl against the team they lost to when I was a kid. And it's, Tom Brady, who had one of the best games in a Super Bowl ever. Was it 505 yards that he had?
506.
506. And in the second half, where he just could not stop him and Gronk from doing whatever he wanted. It looked like you were going to have a repeat of the year before. And then this play happens. The first turnover our defense gets, the first time we touch Brady all night. And it basically cemented our first Super Bowl win.
Gigantic Super Bowl win.
I just thought of another one too. Okay. It's not really a moment, but it's more so a play. So outside of Santonio Holmes and that, toe tapping grab against the Arizona Cardinals in 2008, I think the greatest pass in Super Bowl history, I'm sorry, Dom, came in the Giants' final drive against the Patriots in the second Super Bowl, where he throws an absolute dot to Mario Manningham. I think it's the best throw Eli Manning's ever made in his career, the tightest of windows. If there was a next-gen stats on this thing, this would be like a 0.89 catch percentage.
It's like
because it was just that ridiculous.
I ever had.
Yeah, no, legit. Eli Manning's best throw.
It's his best throw. I mean, outside of, I don't really count Odell Beckham. It was just, he's able to get the arm up, whatnot. But best throw, it's that.
It dropped right in the most perfect place.
In between two defenders, I think it was like Stephen Gregory, but I can't figure out who the other guy was there. It's one of the safeties.
Don't ask me. I can picture the play, but I don't know
who. It could have
been
Patrick Chung. I mean,
Patrick Chung, and I want to say Stephen Gregory.
Yeah. Yeah. That was, that play was, and I know for like almost every Super Bowl, you can bring it down to almost one play or the iconic play of that Super Bowl. And we've had a lot of catches like would have been the Julio catch, wasn't any longer because it was the Edelman catch.
God, that Julio catch is still so good because it was just so ridiculous.
Yeah, Santonio Holmes catch. You have the
helmet catch.
The helmet catch.
Yeah, Tyree.
You have
There was the what was it? Curse at the Seahawks one right
Yes.
before the interception.
Yeah. You have the Malcolm Butler, you could call it a catch. You have the Mario Manningham catch. You have there's a catch
No.
in all of them, basically.
Yeah, like you have Larry Fitzgerald's like 70-yard touchdown against the Steelers, and then Santonio Holmes kind of just like forgets about it, covers that up.
It's true. Yeah, no, there was a bunch of years in the 2010s where every Super Bowl had a catch, and it was so awesome. You know, the Brandon Cooks almost a catch for the only other touchdown that would have happened in that game.
Jason McCourty.
Yeah,
There was the one in the Eagles one, and either the Alshon Jeffrey one or the Corey Clement, both back of the end zone.
I mean, really, like you said, the play that it came down to though was that strip sack.
Yeah.
You know, there's always like the play in the Super Bowls.
It was literally the first time we touched Brady all day.
Yeah. The most important time too. The only thing that was needed.
I got a couple questions here. I took some time and some consideration to think of 3 questions, okay? And I want to break them down right here. We got 3. We got tree. We got tree, okay?
You said, this seems so thought
It was
out.
shocking. There's 3 of them.
It
took me a mere 4 minutes, okay?
Hey, that's over a minute a question.
Fact.
Okay. What move in the offseason would you like to see the most? Because there's going to be a lot of pending question marks. I mean, you got Justin Jefferson. What's going to happen with them? Are they going to resign Kirko? Or are they going to try getting a new quarterback? Is Justin Jefferson just going to say, peace, I'm out? You have the likes of Austin Eckler, Tony Pollard, Saquon Barkley, all, running backs with big, establishments in the league, putting their foot down saying, we want to be paid respectfully. They're all going to be free agents come, March. And it's never too early to talk about free agency. So why not?
If I'm going to be honest, I really want to see what happens with Mike Evans.
I think he's going to be a Chief.
I think he's going to make one of the biggest offseason move impacts, whether he goes to, and I think it's the move that they should make, the Jets. I really think the Jets should make that move because I think it's the most realistic receiver move the Jets can make. You could talk about Devontae Adams and blah, 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 whatever.
Well, Adams isn't going to be leaving Las Vegas now because they finally got the guy there.
But, you could talk about other moves the Jets could make. That is the most realistic and accessible move for any team with a little bit of money going into this offseason. You can't have too many receivers. We've seen that. So I mean, I think whatever happens with Mike Evans is the potential one of the top 3 impacts that could happen next season, change wise.
Selfishly, the one thing I'd actually like to see is Howie Roseman actually get a good linebacker for once. An actual name.
When was the last time the Eagles had an actual linebacker? Trent Cole?
Actual linebacker, like a middle of the
D'Amico
field.
Ryans.
D'Amico Ryans.
Wow. He'd be a really good football coach. No, like whenever I think of the Eagles, and it's like, oh, hey, here's these, secondary members, the front line, and it's just like, what's a linebacker?
Yeah, it's kind of true.
Honestly, I would have never thought D'Amico Ryans. I was just like, oh, Trent Cole. I'm like, that's like the only one I can really remember.
Trent Cole played.
What about Connor Marwin?
They both played on the line. They're both outside guys that played basically defensive end.
So what kind of linebacker would you want? Would you
Like
want Darius? Would you want Shaquille Leonard to be re-signed? Or
no, like Patrick Queen. We had the opportunity to do it last off season and just like, nah, we don't want to. Now they have an opportunity to do it again.
You want like a field general.
Yeah, like they literally did not even talk to TJ Edwards about re-signing, and he had a great season.
And the Bears still have another $100 million to spend.
That's how low they think about linebackers. You had a guy who actually was pretty good in your system in the building, didn't even talk to him.
See, I mean, that's like there's those players that are irreplaceable. Those
You have to have linebackers in this
Yeah.
day and age. Like you just have to.
yeah.
Like the middle of why were we so bad on third down defense? Right over the middle all day.
And those high IQ guys like Luke Kuechly, the 49ers guys, like always. I mean, Aldon Smith and
Yeah, you have Eric Hendricks, who's now on the Chargers.
yeah, those guys are just hard to replicate, and I feel like there's not 32 of them in the league. I feel like not every
Probably
team has those
10,
guys.
maybe.
That's an important position, and not every team literally has that.
I seriously think the last like decent like linebacker we had was like Nigel Bradham.
That's
I
fair.
remember him.
That's fair.
And look, we won a
That's
Super
sooner than D'Amico,
I
right?
know it's a lot sooner. I was being hyperbolic. We won a Super Bowl with Nigel Bradham.
Yeah.
But someone who can actually play the middle of the field as a complete linebacker.
I got 3. Okay.
Jeez.
Let's talk about the one that's playing this weekend. Okay. And I don't think he's going to be going back to Kansas City in next year. Chris Jones, Stone Cold Jones. I want to see where he's going to go. 28 years old. I mean, he's still young. I thought he was in his like 30s and he was trying to get a new contract. But like at 28, man, you're bound to get a new deal. You're going to be, getting somewhere. Let's see where he goes from there. One of Dom's favorite players that's on the Patriots, Brian Burns. I want to see where he ends up going. Well, I mean, listen, the Rams tried to trade 2 first-round picks for him, and the Panthers declined it. They could add a first-round pick this year, but,
Wow.
they didn't want to give him up.
That was a bad move.
And I want to see what happens with Josh Allen, the edge rusher, not the quarterback. I don't want to get anyone confused here.
The edge rusher, by the way, that finished top 3 in sacks this season, I believe.
Yeah, 50 touchdowns and top 3 in sacks. I mean, what can Josh Allen not do here?
That's kind of funny.
Sounds like an MVP to me.
That's kind of funny.
What can't this man do? And also another one, too, because I'm going through this list here. Antoine Winfield Jr. He's been an absolute stud for the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Ever since, Tyreek Hill burned him, and then he went to the Super Bowl and threw up the peace sign in front of him. Got a little fine for it, but I think it was all worth it for him because he got a ring.
I mean, there's basically, like you said, there's Kirk, and there's
you got to see Kirk go to Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean,
I want to see that.
I want to see that.
He could be the Jesse Bates move. I mean, this guy could get $16 million somewhere, wherever he ends up landing.
Potentially. Yeah.
There's a couple, too. The Chiefs also might lose out on L'Jarius Sneed.
That's a huge one for them.
That is their top cornerback.
Absolutely.
And why not? Let me just throw this in here, too. Tyron Smith of the Cowboys, who's been in the league since he was 19 years old. He's been there since, we were in middle school. And he's only 33 years old. Just let that sink into perspective, okay? Just,
Weird.
He's been in the league for so goddamn long. Yeah. Let's look into this here. So tomorrow, the Hall of Fame class gets revealed. We'll know the 7, 8, 9, inductees that's going to be going into Canton come the summer. Who's one player that should be inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Did we do this a couple weeks
We
back?
did this a little bit ago.
We talked about. I don't think we
did.
mentioned this, but I could go over the list if you want.
Please.
So going from alphabetical order by last name, you have Eric Allen, the former, Eagle and Raider defensive back. Jared Allen, we already know who he is. Willie Anderson. We have Jari Evans, who played on the Saints for a whole bunch of years. Dwight Freeney. I don't think I have to talk about him much more. Antonio Gates. I definitely don't need to mention where he's played. Rodney Harrison. I don't need to mention anything
How
there.
is he not? I feel like.
Devin Hester, Torrey Holt, Andre Johnson, Julius Peppers. I don't need to mention him. Fred Taylor, Reggie Wayne, Patrick Willis, Darren Woodson, not Charles or Rod, Darren Woodson, the forgotten Woodson person that's been in the league, longtime Cowboy safety.
So like Patrick Willis has to get in first ballot,
He
right?
needs to. I mean, yeah, you can make the case, we only played 8 years, this and that, but like,
Who
it's
cares?
a great 8 years.
Those 8 years, he
played.
was better than like almost anybody who's ever played.
I think he went to like what 8? I think he went to the Pro Bowl every year too. Besides his last year,
I think
he
he
was in the Pro Bowl every
All
time.
Pro every year of that 8 years, I think.
And then he killed Brad Smith on that play. I mean, that's one of the most infamous knockout clips on
Yeah.
YouTube.
It's hard to choose between Dwight Freeney and Julius Peppers. I think Dwight Freeney might win that one slightly if I were to really stack career on career.
Well, if you look at the sack numbers, it should be Julius Peppers.
Yeah, Dwight Freeney, though, won a Super Bowl, right? Went to one with the Falcons, I think. Like, he
Let's
accomplished
see,
more.
Dwight Freeney.
I believe
He was on the Falcons. Yeah, he was on that Falcons Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
That was like his last year, right?
He went to play for the Lions and the Seahawks the year after.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think Julius Peppers is that person is like the highest sack getter without being in the Hall of Fame currently.
Yeah. That's what we pointed
He's
that
the
out
only
last
person
time.
with over, what is it, 200 or over 100?
Over like a 140 or 150, 160, something like that.
There's a number. He's the only person above that line that it's like 150 or something like that.
Yeah. But Dwight Freeney was an impact player as well, and on great teams, part of good teams, made teams good as well. Julius Peppers was an impact. I mean, that's a tough one. That's a real tough one. I think Julius Peppers played for longer.
Let's see. So let me go by this. Jared Allen went from 2004 to 2015, and Julius Peppers went from 2009 to 2018.
Okay.
How many players get in every year?
I want to say it's like
I think
you get 8. You get 8 players, but one has to be a coach and one person has to be over the age limit of whatever
Sure,
has to be.
5
So
players.
it's like 6. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So Willis, Peppers,
Gates.
I
want to put Torrey Holt in there. I really do.
would I would
Freaking-
expect Torrey Holt to be in there, but
Right.
But I mean, he's been snubbed for the last like 5 years.
Sucks. It sucks. Are you only allowed to be on it a certain amount of times, and then
You
you're
get 25 years on this ballot, and then you go into and then after that, you're like the senior person that gets placed in there.
so this is like probably Eric Allen's like last real year, huh?
possible?
What 5 years after 2006? So he has another 7 years.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't realize he played that long.
He went from 1988 to 2001.
All right.
Rodney Harrison also being on there is one thing. I think he'll make it soon.
I mean, I feel
probably.
like Devin Hester would have to make it in. I don't know if he's a first ballot guy, but I mean, you lead the league in, kickoff and punt return touchdowns.
And to do it to open a Super Bowl is pretty huge.
Yeah,
I mean-
you can't. This is like one of those bars like for Hall of Fame. Like you can't tell the history of the league without talking about Devin Hester.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Yeah, just remember where he played Arizona. Okay, he returned 2 kicks, and then I'm drawing a blank of who the guy was that Cardinals coach after. We are who they thought they were. We let him off the hook.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I can see the face.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's one of the oh my god, watching NFL Network in like 2009-10. It's like best sound bites from what all time
Yeah,
playoffs. I'm just hoping we score a point.
you would hear that like multiple times.
You hear it like 3 times every 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, man, Devin Hester must be a must.
I would even say Reggie Wayne because it's not like Reggie Wayne was ever like bad.
He wasn't.
But also like Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison.
No,
He was
but
in the
you have
other side, and
receiver.
then he had Pierre Garçon as like not. I mean, he's not going to be the complement of like what Reggie Wayne was, but
If you have to pick a receiver on this, I feel like you have to pick Torrey Holt.
you have to pick Torrey Holt, but also Andre Johnson's on here too. So
This
it's
is why. That's why I don't think Gates gets in first ballot because look at those guys.
Yeah.
They're there.
And they've been patiently waiting.
Like Andre Johnson, Torrey Holt.
It's hard to compare Torrey Holt
Like,
and
I'd expect
and
both
Gates.
Jared Allen and I'd expect all the pass rushers to get in.
Yeah.
Allen, Peppers, and Freeney. I think they're all getting in this round.
I feel like every member of the greatest show on turf has to be in there, including obviously Torrey Holt. Are the other ones in? Marshall Falk is definitely in, obviously.
I mean, all the other ones are in. Isaac Bruce is in. Falk's
Yeah, no,
in,
I mean-
Warner's in.
Isaac Brook was
All
just
right.
a year or so ago.
So let's get Torrey Holt. Come on, let's push him in there. Get him in. For sure. That would completely cement the greatest show on turf, as being
Yeah.
a top moment.
And also the coaches in there too. Dick
Yeah.
Vermeil, right? Yeah.
I mean, Dick Vermeil is absolutely in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Has to be.
So I think out of all the receivers, this ballot, Torrey Holt has to be your guy.
I got one more. It's more of a bold take here. We already talked about them, but I want to see what you guys think. Okay, here. Who are you guaranteeing to bring home hardware tomorrow night at NFL Honors? Across all the awards, you got,
CJ Stroud.
so many.
That's a guarantee.
I got to pick CMC, offensive player, guaranteed.
Hardware, or are you calling your shot at what he gets?
Well, I mean that's hardware.
That's hardware. Yeah.
So you mean between like the 3 awards you could get,
Yeah, that's true.
he's going to get one.
You also got the other one, like the fluoride winner, whatever.
We don't care about those.
You got the angriest runner by Kyle Brandt.
Pacheco, hands down, it's going to be it better.
Pacheco needs to be
What?
the greatest runner.
What?
Here.
The
angriest runner.
So the 3 finalists, okay, for this are Najee Harris against the Seahawks. Okay. Then you got James Conner, that stiff arm Patrick Peterson into whatever lake's next to Pennsylvania. And then you got Zach Charbonnet against the Panthers in week 3.
I mean, Charbonnet was epic. I'm not
Najee Harris, though, I got to tell you, he's a 6-time Scepter winner.
Oh, okay. Well, I liked Charbonnet's. That's the only one I remember seeing over and over.
Well, when they first debuted the award last year for angriest runner, Damian Pierce won it when he played the Jaguars and carried, 7 Jaguars with him on like a 20-yard run.
It has to be like the LeGarrette Blount Award. I think I am sad that Pacheco's not on it because he is.
And then you got like Jason McCourty's fit list, the best dressed player that goes into the thing.
Why does Jason McCourty get to choose that? Sure, bro. Okay.
Well, I mean, he runs a segment every week on Good Morning Football.
Yeah, that's all right.
So the channel that nobody watches.
Yeah, his.
Hey, they're up 30% year over year. So
you would know.
Well, I mean, they only post that on social media, so I just read it.
Fair.
He wasn't part of the meeting.
It was the meeting, the script meeting. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, for me, Christian McCaffrey, offensive player, I'm going to take that one as mine because Jake took Stroud. Well, if you were to take,
so I'm gonna call my shot on defensive player of the year, okay? Because I have to choose between 2 Cowboys, Deron Bland, Micah Parsons. You got T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett, and also Max Crosby. All right, I'm gonna obviously knock out Deron Bland and Max Crosby because, hey, I'm gonna do that. I want to stick with my pick with Crosby, but I mean he didn't make the playoffs. But I'll stick with T.J. Watt. I think he's a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year recipient. I think that's what he's going to win. That's what he's going to bring home. So, league leader in sacks, and I still think he missed like 2 games this season, and he finished with like 19 and a half.
Probably deserved,
unless they snub him again.
Exactly.
I mean, and then it might be like Micah Parsons. I don't think Garrett wins the award,
which is wild. That was my pick. I think Myles Garrett.
I think we all basically had the Defensive Player of the Year finalists between Max Crosby, Garrett, T.J. Watt.
That's true. I might have chose Max
and Parsons.
I
think Jake may have picked Parsons for just the Penn State reason. Maybe.
Well, no, could I pick T.J. Watt like every year, and then he'd have the most amazing years?
I forgot what mine is. Mine's so stupid. I'm not saying what mine is.
Here, I can read it out for you.
You don't need
That's
to.
what I'm gonna do. I'm already on it.
Hey,
all right.
You too.
He picked
Gardner.
Damn, lost in the Sauce Gardner. There it is.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, we did pretty good. I mean, listen, outside of Dom's, I mean, we all picked the finalists. I'm pretty proud of ourselves. Okay, the MVPs, that's just a different story.
Hey, I have offensive player. I got offensive player. We're good. I nailed that one. That's all that matters. And I might have nailed defensive rookie.
Yeah, he is a finalist. I mean, it's down to you. I want to say it's down to you and Colton on the picks there for a defensive rookie.
Jalen Carter. Yeah,
wow. Carter, Will Anderson. I don't think Witherspoon's the finalist, though. I don't think he is. I don't know, Jake. I think he might get comeback player of the year. Tua's a finalist.
Hey, he wins me money if he gets it.
Can we talk about how Baker Mayfield should probably be comeback player of the year? I think he should.
Well, what is he coming back from? Okay, he sucked ass. Okay, then he went to Los Angeles, and then McVay revived his career because they were talking on a plane or whatever.
Coming back from being terrible is not coming back.
Yeah, you defended Geno Smith coming back from being not
because he was. Everyone doubted him. Okay, it's not my fault that he lost his.
No one doubted.
It's not my fault that, Baker Mayfield lost his job to PJ Walker, got it back, and then lost it to Sam Darnold.
No one doubted it. Everyone just knew he wasn't good enough to start.
And then
you're not coming back from anything.
He brought him to the playoffs. Listen, man, if you wanted to fight me on this was the last year's discussion, okay? I'm not trying to defend
It's not anymore because you said Baker. What is he coming back from? Well, what was Geno coming back from?
And then we got Joe Flacco, who's a finalist. What is Joe Flacco coming back from? Okay, he played like shit on the Jets, okay? He was not a good quarterback, okay?
His couch. Come on.
Listen, he was playing backyard football. Okay, he got scouted pretty good. He made it to the Browns. Okay, and then he made it on that.
I don't think Tua does it because I
don't even know who's offensive. I need to look up the offensive rookie of the year finalist.
Oh, I don't even.
I don't know who's the finalist on this one. Jameer Gibbs. I'm on there. I mean, what? Jameer Gibbs. We got Sam Laporta, Puka Nacua, BJ Robinson, Bijan Robinson, and CJ Stroud.
That's basically all of ours except for mine.
Yeah.
And Jake Zay didn't make it, huh?
That's wild. Zay Flowers doesn't make.
It's kind of wild.
Well, I mean, Puka was just. I don't know. Puka was Puka, man.
I
love that story. That's one of my favorite stories, though.
He's one of my favorite people by far. I love him.
And also Sam Laporta too. I called Sam Laporta. Okay, I did. I said, listen, hey, Zystra, who was the tight end one for the Lions, he blew out his knee against the Panthers in a joint practice. I said Sam Laporta is going to take that step.
You and everybody else that knows a thing about like Iowa tight ends.
So the MVP
thing, they produce.
We really blew it on the whole MVP thing.
Listen, we're not going to talk about this. Okay, we all went 0 for 5. It's not like anyone was close.
No, none of us were close.
Coach of the year.
That's wild. Mahomes is the closest on that,
and he still wasn't a finalist.
How do we? I mean, Burrow got.
Wow, I like how we did this here. I picked Rodgers. He blew out his Achilles. Joe Burrow blew out his hand on a touchdown pass. Herbert just broke his finger because he said, "You know what, Brandon Staley, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore."
Brandon Staley blew out his brain.
Oh man. Coach of the year, we're just not going to talk about that. I mean, Jake has Dan Campbell, and that's going to be,
Oh, hey!
It'll be down to him and D'Amico for winning it.
Yeah, that's too funny.
I still like the photo I picked for Mike Tomlin.
Still going all in on Tua, comeback player. All in on it.
He's just not.
The chips are in.
He's a finalist. Is he Tua's a finalist for comeback or not?
It's him. I'll look up comeback player of the year finalists. It's him, Flacco, DeMar Hamlin, and then there's two other guys.
I love how they throw DeMar in there just to keep us all on our toes. Like, are they going to do that trigger or are they not?
Finalists. Let's see.
He didn't come back from anything
because he hasn't
played.
Yeah,
he had like 2 snaps.
Yeah, I think or 7.
Offensive player. So comeback player of the year. So it's Flacco, DeMar, Baker, Matthew Stafford, and Tua.
Oh, Matt Stafford. True.
Because he had that neck injury, and then yeah.
That's true. Yeah. All right.
Then there's also assistant coach of the year, Ben Johnson, Mike McDonald, Tom Munkin, Jim Schwartz, and Bobby Slowick. So
Jim Schwartz all day.
Yeah.
Number 1 defense at home, 32nd on the road. I have still no idea how that even happens. I really don't. Is there anything?
I think Ben Johnson might win that, but I don't know. Maybe not.
Him or Slowick, man.
Maybe.
Probably Slowick.
What do you mean assistant coach? Like coordinator?
Oh, yeah, coordinators.
I'm surprised Fangio's not in that.
No, because they all hated him because they were soft.
Yeah, they all posted photos of them shooting rocks.
Is that really a thing?
Yeah, they all wanted to party and they didn't want to do the work.
Wow. And they still had the top 10 defense the first time in over a decade for Miami. So.
Oh, wait, no, not Fangio. That's not who I was thinking of. But I mean, yeah. No, the Chiefs one.
Spagnuolo.
Spags. I'm surprised he's not for the Chiefs defense actually doing things.
Yeah, actually. That defense is sick.
Yeah. And like you could argue that defense was a strong part of the team this year. Like
Well, I mean, you don't need to look under any rocks. It was the strongest part of their team.
I know. And so I'm surprised he's not on there for that. But whatever. All right. Sure.
And that's all I have for the show. Unless you guys want to talk about anything Super Bowl related, we can all save that for the Friday show.
Yeah. I'm excited for the Friday show. I'm glad we're doing the 2 shows. It'll be fun. This will be a good Super Bowl, I hope. I don't know. I don't even know how excited I am yet. I'm more excited for the festivities that the 3 of us will
Jake, I mean, I already told Dom, but Jake, do you know how much money I spent on...
Yes, you did.
I sent you 1 receipt. I had to make 2 orders because they don't let me exceed an X amount.
He has a final price.
All right,
Final price.
You had to round it. You're the estimated. Give me the estimated price.
I don't think I can.
Before he says this is money.
Actually, I don't think he can.
I can give you an estimated price, okay? But it's more than what I sent you on the first receipt there.
I know you sent me the one. He said the
Why
other
can't-
one, that at least that.
Why can't you give a price? Well,
Because
Well, I can't give him. No, he wanted me to give an estimate price. I wanted to see if he could guess the price.
estimate.
oh, well, before you say any price to any,
Let's plug in the social medias before we hit the price here. You can follow us on YouTube before the Fan Network. TikTok, you can watch my jersey collection. That's now grown by 3 jerseys. I got 2 hanging up in the room over there, just detoxing there. So you can watch that and all the great other content we put on TikTok for the Fan Network, Twitter and/or X for the Fan _, and an Instagram for the Fan Football.
So to preface this money number, this is indeed money Will is stealing from a franchise that we all know.
That's called Buffalo Wild Bings, okay?
It's the amount. It's the amount.
I have 4 pieces of paper to show when I'm picking them up here, just so then when they get checked, everything is there, okay?
It's like you're boarding a plane or something. You have your document.
No, he's
crossing the border. He's like his
no, he's like he's a brick.
Well, we can't say crossing the border, okay? That is a very not topic that we can discuss right now. We cannot bring up that topic.
Hey,
Okay?
wrong restaurant. Not whatever that's called. Gosh. So, how much money are you stealing from Buffalo Wild Wings?
All right, I am stealing $301.41. And I left a very generous tip on there, okay?
Oh wow!
Because hey, they deserve it. They're cooking up all this food, okay?
Look at you. What a gentleman! Stealing money and then leaving a tip for it. That's just it. Imagine paying someone to steal from them, and they still lose money.
You mean the government?
Listen, I'm helping pay for the workers and all that stuff. So then, they get tipped and all that
You're
stuff.
paying the workers to help you steal from their franchise. Is really what it is. I think. No, Will, do you want to tell the story? Maybe. You know what? Maybe we can make this social media. Maybe. I don't know. Whatever. Let's tell
No,
the
because
story.
they'll stop doing it.
Yeah. They might. Tell the story, though, of what happened Super Bowl to Super Bowl in your life.
Oh.
What Super Bowl to Super? I don't even know what you're trying to instigate here. You just want me to talk about the highway robbery I have of Wild Wings? All right. Yes, they got these things called points on Buffalo Wild Wings' website. Okay, and then some weeks they might have double points. Sometimes they might have triple points. Okay.
What? You're giving away the secrets. They're going to stop this.
Well, I mean, they give it away, so it's not like, hey, like I've kept it and all that stuff. Dom wanted me to tell this story. I don't even know what story he wants me to go about here. So I have to. So I was born in 1997. Do you want me to start from there? Okay, it all started when I was born.
Yeah, Will uses points every year to get these things. That's all.
And then someone robbed me of them. Someone went to a Springfield, Illinois, robbed me of all said fucking points. Okay, I was really pissed about it. All right.
Now you know how Buffalo Wild Wings feels every
Year.
February that comes around when you walk in and do the same to them. Someone
okay. Okay, here, listen. I took $300 from B-Dubs, and I'm also making a boatload of money on Nvidia call options right now. Okay, it's just straight up $710 a share on the Nvidia stock.
You're stealing money from everything.
Yes, I am.
It's a beautiful thing.
But yeah, that's our show. Tune in Friday. We'll be talking about the NFL honors, the winners and losers of it. We'll talk about the Hall of Fame, who was snubbed and who wasn't snubbed. And we'll look ahead. We'll have predictions. We'll have our winners, our scores. We'll have 2 picks for MVP because why not? And maybe any surprises, bold takes we want to put during the Super Bowl, halftime show, game, whatever happens there. It's going to be a very fun show. How it feels to be a winner, okay? And I could debut this pretty thing right here. Boom, this fantasy football championship ring here that I got as my memento. As I am in my journey of trying to secure the 1 seeds in both fantasy basketball and fantasy hockey. Might be the first person to hit the Triple Crown in that and maybe win all 3. Who knows? I don't care about no Kentucky Derby horses. I'm going to be, the best Triple Crown winner there's ever been.
You are going to be the best horse.
That sounds so fucking wrong, man.
You claim to be winning the Triple Crown. I don't know.
I didn't call myself a horse.
Are you going to walk
That's all I got to say.
Wild Wings with a dog mask on, wearing your Chiefs jersey?
I'm not. Who says I'm wearing a Chiefs jersey, man?
I don't know. They're talking about it's Super Bowl. Chiefs are in it, and you're talking about robbing
Also,
a
did you just
franchise.
talk about with Chiefs and dog masks when the Eagles
No,
were
that's a wolf. That's a wolf mask.
Oh, it's a wolf mask. My bad. No, I'm talking about Chiefs.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Chiefs-aholic.
Chiefs-aholic. That's his name. There you go. Yeah. You think he's going to the Super Bowl?
Oh no, he's definitely still in jail.
They're gonna let them have
Super
crime
fan jail. Let's do a quick Google search here, okay? August 2023, he remained in federal custody without bond.
Did he escape?
How much? Oh yeah, he did escape. Remember
right.
that? Oh,
Did he
McAfee
escape?
was covering that. That was pretty funny.
Is he still escaped?
There are still no updates on here.
Maybe he still escaped.
CNN. Let's see. Money laundering charges, robbing banks. 19 counts, including 3 counts of armed robbery, 1 count of bank theft, 11 counts of money laundering, 4 counts of transporting stolen property across state lines. Do you guys know? He just did that. He just went to games and is just oh hey, let me just rob a bank.
It's like, bro, he's walking into the bank.
Do you ever think is this how he paid for all this Chiefs stuff?
He paid for everything.
To be. I mean,
I assume that's how he paid for most things in his life.
every Super Bowl he's went to,
Was
if
with
he's been to them.
stolen money. Yeah. Oh yeah. Solid chance.
Any Chiefs bet he may have placed.
Maybe he stole the Brady jerseys.
No, it was Spanish reporter in Mexico that actually went in there, took it, put it in the bag, and just walked out as if nothing ever happened.
Yeah, there you go.
Because some
And sold
Patriots
it to
fan,
Chiefs-aholic.
some Patriots fan actually was talking with the guy, and he's like, "Oh, look at these memorabilia stuff," and he stole from 5 or 6 different Super Bowls.
They had a whole thing.
Yeah.
He had well over $1 million worth of stolen goods.
Jeez.
From the 2 Tom Brady jerseys, Von Miller's game helmet from the Broncos 50th Super Bowl.
Holy hell! So this dude just
he knew what he was doing.
playing the long game on that. Just a little here,
And
little.
then he just talked to some 16-year-old kid, and he's like, "Hey, look what I have."
We should compare one day the Chiefs-aholic, that guy, and then what was that Carolina Panthers employee, the guy that
Oh,
stole
the Jaguars employee that
Jaguars,
$20 million. Yeah.
the triple threat of football heists. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna end the show here. Follow us on all the social medias. We go back to 7 minutes before that. As always, I'm Dom. Will, that's Jake. Okay, and we are For the Fan. Tune in Friday, episode number 123. Wow, 31 football episodes this season. I'm proud of us. Tune in next day, always on Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, and tune in wherever you want. So peace.